tributes are pouring in for Auditor-General Kimi Makwetu. He passed away yesterday after battling cancer. Let's chat to Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane for her thoughts and memories of him. Mr. Mkhwebane, a very good morning to you, and thanks so much for your time. Your first thought when you heard of the death of Kimi Makwetu?
Yeah, good morning, and good morning to the viewers and listeners. It was a shock indeed, and we are saddened as the Office of the Public Protector to hear such shocking news of a fellow head of a Chapter 9 institution, and as well being the chairperson of the Forum of Institutions Supporting Democracy with other fellow heads of those institutions. We are very saddened by the loss of such a dedicated, a very committed public servant who has been shining a spotlight in the deep-rooted challenges of governance failure in the country. And I mean, we have seen as well that he was now going to represent the country in the global space.
Well, you know, and Mr. Mkhwebane, for me, he just seemed like a generally all-round nice guy as well. I'm sure, okay, there were maybe those in some municipalities who may not, have appreciated that. But he really, like you say, was a dedicated hard worker. And many of us probably not knowing that he was still doing this while battling cancer. Many of us probably didn't even know that he had cancer. So in our minds, how should we remember him? How should we revere him?
We should revere him as a very dedicated servant. I mean, yes, imagine for the past 2 years struggling with cancer. Indeed, as heads of Chapter 9 institutions and constitutional institutions, we never, pick that up, because I remember he was also one of the chairpersons of this Forum for Institutions Supporting Democracy, and he was very much committed. He made sure as well that I think during the 5th administration, we had to comment on the late Kada Asmal report on rationalization of the constitutional institutions. So he spearheaded the process. He made sure that we send our inputs to the National Assembly, and I think we will miss him, because he was somebody who then was serving selflessly for the country instead of only focusing selfishly on himself, especially the fact that he was suffering from this disease.
And Mr. Mkhwebane, like you say, yes, he has done so much for the profession. He leaves a huge void as well. I mean, just, how do we honor that about him? Because he also didn't make a lot of noise. He did his job quietly. He did it perfectly. He did it well as well. How do we make sure that we continue to honor what he has left us with and the example he's left us with?
I think we will have to continuously, especially from the municipalities and all state institutions, to be compliant, especially when we are audited, because in that space as well, he did his job, he was dedicated. But then I must say, at least he's left a team which is also very much committed, and we've heard that there's the appointment of the predecessor, Ms. Maluleka. So we hope that we will work together as constitutional institutions to make sure that we continue the work which he made sure that he does, and we don't, falter. But then again, remember as well, he made sure that the amendment of the relevant legislation dealing with the issues of audits, and that those who have committed repetitive audit failures, and then they will be dealt with harshly. Definitely, his legacy will be continued, especially by those who are remaining within the Auditor General's office, but including us as constitutional institutions.
Right. Busisiwe Mkhwebane, Public Protector, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts there on the passing of Auditor-General Kimi Makwetu.